What's up, everybody? Coach Daisha here, bringing you this week's hot topic. Now, this one is a good one because I haven't gotten this question a lot as far as it being popular and a true hot topic, but is it so important? Yes, it is. And that is, how do we fall? Now, myself included, all of us out here in the fitness and health industry are teaching people with osteopenia and osteoporosis how to prevent falls, right? So we do all the talk about balance and core stability, et cetera, because we want you to stay upright as much as possible. We don't want you to fall. However, it may happen. And if it does happen, there are certain techniques that you can use to land safely on the ground without hopefully suffering any type of injuries or fractures to the most common areas where they occur. So I'm going to show the 3 different techniques on what you should look for if you are falling and how to fall safely, and then how we get back up off the ground. So let's get started. So let's talk about falling forward first. Now, this is one where you're looking for 2 points of contact. You want to get to your knees first and then to your forearms, all right? What naturally happens, whether we're trying to fall forward, to the side, or back, is we like to put our arm out like this. In sports medicine, we call this a FOOSH injury. It always happens. FOOSH is an acronym, stands for falling on an outstretched hand. We all know that your likelihood of fracturing your wrist is pretty good if we do that. However, it's just kind of an instinctual thing, okay? So all the techniques that I'm showing you today, I encourage you to practice them in a safe area. If you've got an extremely thick padded mat at home, these are some things that you can practice. I don't have a really thick mat here. I just have my normal yoga mat, but I'm going to show you these techniques anyway. So when we're falling forward, the first thing we want to think to do is to get to our knees and then to get to our forearms. Boom. Just like this. We want to let our forearms and our elbows absorb that impact as opposed to an outstretched arm and landing on our wrists. Your wrists have 8 very small bones in them, and the distal or the ends of the 2 bones in your forearms aren't as strong as the upper parts of those bones, all right? So let the stronger parts of those bones absorb your landing so we can minimize your risk of fracture at the wrist. So once again, if you're falling forward, we want to land on knees first and then elbows. Next up is falling backwards. So this is also 2 points of contact, but the most important thing to remember when we're falling backwards is we do not want the back of our head to hit the ground. So when you feel yourself falling backwards, I want you to think, tuck my chin, tuck my chin. That's going to be the main thing I want you to do. So as you feel yourself falling backwards, we bend the knees, we let that booty, we let the glutes absorb as much as we can, and then we tuck the chin, all right? So I'm falling backwards, tuck. Got it? So falling backwards, booty lands first, we tuck that chin so we keep the head off the ground, and we let our upper back absorb that landing. Once again, let me show you again. From a standing position, we feel like we're falling backwards, we're going to squat, booty, tuck the chin. And there we go. Last but not least is what happens if we're falling to the side? We've lost our balance and we feel ourselves tipping over to one side. What you want to think of is landing right here on the meatiest part of your upper arm, all right? And then from there, roll to your back as quickly as possible, all right? So you find yourself falling forward. I'm thinking arm, and then roll to my back, okay? Let your arm, once again, absorb that landing as opposed to sticking that hand out there. We want to avoid that FOOSH injury that I mentioned earlier. So once again, you're losing your balance, we fall here, get to the back. All right, so now you know how to fall properly in all of the major ways it happens. We either fall forward, we fall backwards, or we fall to our side. Either way, we're going to be down on the ground. So how do we get up? Now, most of us have a stronger leg. That leg that not only feels stronger, but maybe the knee has a little bit more motion and flexibility in it than the other. Whichever leg that you consider your strongest leg, we're going to try to get it in front of us. So depending on how you are on the ground, the first thing you're going to do is try to roll over to your stomach. All right. So we're on the ground. We're going to get over to our stomach. From this position, I want to slide myself back into a quadruped position. So basically, like we're on all fours. Once I've gotten to all fours, I'm going to walk my hands back until I am all the way up onto just both of my knees. Now I get to choose which leg is the stronger leg. I'm going to turn to the front so you see what happens. Or I'm going to kind of angle it so you see what happens here. I'm going to pretend that this leg is my stronger leg. So I'm going to take that leg and I'm going to put it in front of me, okay? If I'm able to, I'm also going to tuck the back toe. Once again, strong leg is in front, and we're going to tuck the toe in the back if that's accessible to you. Once we're here, I'm thinking about that front heel, and I want to put all of my weight into that front heel. So both hands are going to go on that strong front thigh. I'm going to push all my weight into that front heel, and if I've got my back toes tucked, they're going to help me as well. So once again, all the weight into the front heel, bringing that back leg together with the front leg. So once again, all you need to know is which is my good leg, which is my strong leg. I'm going to put all of my weight into there to get me back up safely to a standing position. And that's it, everybody. I encourage you, once again, if you do have a really, really padded mat somewhere at home, or you can get access to one at the gym, etc., practice some of these techniques. It may seem counterintuitive, but if you were to practice what it feels like, especially as you're coming to the ground, that becomes muscle memory. And if you do, unfortunately, suffer a fall, that muscle memory can kick in and protect you as you're coming down to the ground. So once again, if you've got a padded mat somewhere, practice these techniques so you know what to do in case worst case scenario does happen. So I hope that was helpful to everybody. Drop in the comments below if it was helpful to you, and I will see you guys next time for another hot topic.